bit. Metronome as DeFi, decentralized finance.
Yeah.
Long term, definitely, yeah. Because you can build a lot of tools on there: loans, mass pay, doing payroll, doing everything.
And those
Decentralized
loans are
finance
built through
is probably the futures.
those loans are financed through Bitcoin, or they have their own.
Through Ethereum. So
With-
Ethereum is another one. That's the second biggest market cap. And for people who know about Ethereum, you can build something called smart contracts. They execute based on payment using Ethereum. Metronome uses that platform to build their own. So you can get loans through it, mass pay, like I said before, with subscriptions, with payroll, with being able to build dApps, decentralized apps, things of that nature. So those are probably the top altcoins I'm looking at and dealing with on a daily basis.
Does Bitcoin still have that same correlation with altcoins? Because I knew if there was one thing I would say for sure what that happened in crypto is that crypto market usually follows Bitcoin's direction. So on Bitcoin at least for back then, is that still the case?
From back then, same thing still is pretty much the same today. As Bitcoin goes, everything else does. They're still pretty tethered as far as their price action. Except for a few outliers. Yeah, if Bitcoin is pumping, that money is going to get pushed into altcoins right after it, you know what I mean? And then that money will get pushed up. But if Bitcoin is dying or going down or going sideways, altcoins are just getting sold off. Because a lot of the altcoins don't have the community, they don't have the project, they don't really have the staying power to be a real asset. So Bitcoin is still reigning supreme because of that. And price action still follows it. Because it's still...
And on top of that, a lot of the liquidity that's happening in altcoins are like people who are doing the basically penny stock trading using altcoins. So a lot of their liquidity isn't actual like real long-term liquidity. It's just dudes trying to hold it for a week or something or a day.
Good luck selling some of the stuff people got.
Yo, dog, that was one of the things I never got. Especially like, yo, if I'm not going through a legitimate crypto exchange, I'm not fucking with the coin. Like if I gotta go through a site,
got millions worth of such stuff. Who you gonna sell it to?
Exactly. Like, bro, I don't know if you saw. It was like I think it was like the couple-year anniversary for the BitConnect nigga the other day. I had posted the video. The Carlos Monte.
That bullshit BitConnect. Jesus Christ.
Son, I mean, yo, dog, it's crazy. You know what's so crazy? A lot of people forgot about BitConnect, but it's crazy. BitConnect should really be like right next to Bitcoin in terms of like it should be like the like kind of like the holy grail of what not to get as a cryptocurrency. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people should know about. If you learn about crypto, you should learn about the story of BitConnect. Yo, dog, no one is beating that scam. And the crazy thing is that scam was paying money for a very long time. Like it was a Ponzi scheme that was running for a minute. Like, and people were actually making money off of it. It just was if you happen to be still in it when the crash happened.
When it went down, man, sucks for you, brother.
It's crazy because I know it. You know what's crazy? I know a dude that had got into it recently, made a crazy bag, and reinvested the whole thing right back into it right before the crash. So it's like he got banged. It was like it was a significant amount of money, son. But like,
I've seen a lot of people say, "Hey, man, I lost 5, 6 figures, 7 figures." I'm like, man, I told people back in 2014, BitConnect is no. I've been trying, or I was trying back then, and a lot of times people don't get the message because they see the numbers. They think they're making that money. I'm like, but can't you move it? And they're like, nah, well, I can't move it for a year. I'm like, it's a red flag right there. Can't even move your own shit. That's what crypto is made for. That's it's literally made for you to be able to do what you want with it. Yeah, they give you guaranteed rates. I try to tell, but you know niggas don't listen.
But you,
especially males. Men, oh man, we like, oh, I know what I'm doing, boy. I know what I'm doing, bro.
So I've been, I've been on Forex.
I understand, but this is different. You know, it is what it is. But people, they had to pay that tuition.
Yo, I tell dudes, L's are the overhead for the business. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get into the business of investing, the L's is the overhead. You feel me, son? So that's just what it is. So every business got overhead. The L's we take that's the overhead.
Overhead you got to pay for to get this game because ain't nobody got that scot free and got that. You know, something's gonna happen. You know.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact for real. But the crazy thing is, if the Feds do go forward with the FedCoin plan, I can't really see these dudes continuing to let Bitcoin legally rock because it's going to defeat the purpose.
But that's the thing I always tell people is the banks, the institutions, politicians, their only script is what they already know. So they're going to eat themselves. This is what's going to happen. You're right. They're going to try and stop it. But in their trying to stop it, what happens whenever something gets banned?
Niggas go right to it.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to say, don't buy this, or you're going to... And you know what's going to happen? Motherfuckers are going to go buy it. They're going to be like, oh, so we really must need Bitcoin, especially other countries. They're going to be like, oh, this is what is going to take down your country? We're going to buy more of it. Matter of fact, we're going to start denominating our money in Bitcoin so we don't ever have to use the U.S. petrodollar anymore. That's what's going to happen, in my opinion. But the U.S., because we're so slow with regulations and because people want so much control and because of the monetary system we have, it's hard for us to see it, but we're very close to being Venezuela or one of these other countries, the Greek crisis or something else where the dollar's value doesn't mean as much anymore. And I'm not saying you won't be able to go shopping with it. That shit don't happen overnight. I'm just saying over the next 4 or 5 years, you really have to be cognizant of the fact that a lot of things that are changing right now, $1,200 ain't gonna get you shit. That's what I'm saying. They're changing everything right in front of you. Most people won't have jobs, and you have to rely on something. Crypto seems like one of the best answers for people who are investors, and that's why I always stick with it.
I mean, is it better right now to go all in before the halving, the dollar cost average for the rest of the year?
Dollar cost average is always the best option, but before the halving, I would buy as much as possible, just because. As far as how price movement goes, a lot of times dollar cost average is good, but a lot of people have the money to do it. They just don't feel like they need Bitcoin. I'm like, once you figure out the why, it's a lot easier for people to buy Bitcoin. So if you're listening, if you're watching, if you need a reason to do it, the why should be you're watching the Fed print money right in front of your face and you have no access to it. Choose a system that works for you. That's what I would say. That's money.
I mean, that's real talk. That's real talk. But like I said, these niggas apparently still got the magic wand, and they keep printing out money and not devaluing the money supply.
It can only last so long, and they can only run that tape out so long, and it's like, now.
Yo, I'm telling yo, bro. Like, I don't think people, and you know what the scariest part about it is like, people are more scared of the coronavirus than what the government is actually doing to like with actual legitimate fiscal policy. Like, they're literally like bankrupting the nation. Like, this shit is like unprecedented, and it's bugged out that like, part of me wishes they just let shit rock out, and then whoever unfortunately whoever caught it, but. Like, we were just gonna have to do the herd immunity and let shit rock out, son, because I don't think it was worth it at this point.
Yeah, nah, right now.
And it's like,
started going with, we're gonna ride it out.
And now here's the crazy bugged out thing, even when you talk about stuff like crypto, and here's when I see all these different reaches that they're doing in different sectors, and this is specifically how they could definitely get on crypto, is when they, like, now they're trying to implement that phone tracking shit that China got, where they could, track where you've been at to find out if you've been in contact with someone who has, who had corona or whatever. But who's to say that technology is not going to block your phone from, accessing your crypto accounts or not reporting your keys to somebody else when you log into it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's so many overreaches happening right now, and part of me feels like, and like you said, there ain't no coincidences for all this shit to be happening right before the Bitcoin halving. It just all feels too scripted, yo. I can't even call it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm with you. I mean, I'm done with coincidences. A lot of this stuff has to be happening for a reason. Something's going on, and from an economic standpoint, I think a big change is happening as far as making money digital. I'm just happy to be able to see it. And honestly, I don't know exactly what all is going to end up, transpiring. But from an economic standpoint, you got to be excited because whatever happens, there's going to be a lot of cheap shit on the market in the next year or two. The way shit is going. So,
but do you think Bitcoin bottomed out already, though?
Bitcoin?
Yeah. Because I don't think the market, I don't think the general, like, in terms of stock market.
At 3,400, maybe, yeah. I think if it hits that level again, that'll be the bottom 3,400. I think that's the bottom for this 3K, that 3K area. Right now, I wouldn't say it bottomed out per se, simply because Bitcoin for some reason is following the S&P right now, and a lot of the money that's being moved, but it'll decouple from it. I think once money starts moving away, like I said, when the why becomes the reason why people will start moving certain money, I think we'll start seeing a change. I think countries start moving away from it, but that's in the future. Right now, it's still correlated with the S&P, so I think it's going to take a dump, much like the S&P will, because your boy Trump said the market's okay, which means the market's probably fucking trash right now.
Nah, he's gonna do the pump. I need that pump to work because I got some spy clothes.
Everything you say, it does the opposite.
Yeah, I just need that pump. I just need it for one day so I can get up.
It's just media like everybody else. You know, the media, CNBC, same thing. If they say it's about to pump, go ahead and sell right now. As soon as you hear that shit.
Son, that dude is so... Son, that dude be fiending for the market to do good so much. This nigga just, like, will pull the trigger on anything.
Make everybody money.
Son, this shit is bugged out. But you know what's crazy? I remember you saying something. I think this was during that the week where we had like those like 2 back-to-back like crazy down days in the market, and you were like, Bitcoin failed to like show up. Like that was the day for Bitcoin to like show up, you know what I'm saying, as like the store of wealth. And it was one of those days, like you said, where Bitcoin, instead of having what theoretically, when, you know, crises are happening in the government and in their markets, theoretically, money would flee to quote unquote secure assets like Bitcoin. But like you said, when those drops happened in the market, Bitcoin actually followed the market's direction, as opposed to showing the converse reaction, like what you would normally see in something like gold, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, well, and I kind of, and hold on, real quick. When that had happened too, it was crazy because I kind of feel like that was a crazy blow. When that day, when them 2 days happened and Bitcoin didn't catch that converse reaction from the market, it really felt like that whole argument caught a crazy blow to it. Because I really, even to this point, I really don't think that argument has that much weight behind it right now.
Yeah. True. And that's the one thing I want to tell people, or I've been saying for the last couple of years, is initially, because Bitcoin is so young, whenever there is a liquidity crisis, Bitcoin is going to get hit too. Everything will. Because nobody will have any money to buy it. And of course, it's so new, people are not going to spend it on something that hasn't been proven as a medium of exchange, as a store of value at first. But that's the problem. I keep telling people is once that happens, which we're going through now, the next phase of it is the printing of money, which we're seeing now, the debasement of the currency we have, and then a turn of the money towards digital. That digital change that's happening, we're watching it right in front of us. So I think cryptocurrency has the potential to be a store of value because the next crisis, let's say the next crisis, you know, usually 8 to 10 years. In 10 years from now, there won't be anybody that believes in the nationalized version of money without using cryptocurrency. But that argument will be dead. So I think it will become a store of value. It just takes time. But right now, not really. That's what I was saying. I was like, right now, it's not. I think long term it will be, but it's just not. It's not enough information. It's not enough of a, like I said, a why, of the use case for some people. It will be once people, like I said, if one day you wake up and your bank has controls on you being able to take it out and they tell you no, and you're like, well, I need to buy food today. And they're like, well, no, you can't take out anymore, which is already happening. It's just, it's happening slowly. It's like, okay, well, you can only take out 800. And now you can only take out 400 or whatever the numbers are. It's getting to that point. And that's what I try and remind people is, I remember 5 years ago when people were like, well, how will people buy Bitcoin if it's not on an app? And I was like, it's coming. And people were like, well, when is it going to come? Now it's on app. It's on Cash App. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy. So it just takes time. Everything, all of this, it's just tech. It takes time. When it scales up and people start being able to get it easier, it becomes a part of people's medium of exchange. I think people will use it as a store of value. But right now, nah, not really. Yeah. Definitely not. But 10 years is progressed pretty good for 10 years. I just don't want people to get overexcited and some of this pie in the sky. You see some of them. Some of these